Hello, good people from wherever you're watching me from. Thank you for coming to my channel. My name is Dr. Sechanzi, and I believe I'm a professor of medicine to be. Now, when you're a professor of medicine, it requires you, first of all, to be a good doctor. And on top of being a good doctor, you must be a good teacher. So, I want to be a kind of professor who will not only teach doctors, but I teach the whole public so that together we can transform our communities. Realize that there's so many challenges in our communities that we can, get solutions to. And I want to use my medicine, my exposure, my knowledge, and a few things. I want to use your knowledge as well, your ideas, so that we transform our communities. Now, this week, I've been privileged to lead one of the key meetings where a very important topic of artificial intelligence was discussed, and I want to share with you what I shared with fellow doctors. Maybe you can have a few things to learn from it. Now, I want to start with this quote from one of the grandfathers we have in medicine. He's called Rodolphe Virchow. Those of you who are doing medicine and are deep into it, you must have come across the Virchow triad, about thrombosis. You can read about it if you don't. But this man, he said that the physicians are the natural attorneys of the poor, okay? And the social problems should largely be solved by physicians. Now, that quote puts us as physicians at task to solve some of the challenges that our communities are facing. And I want to use my knowledge and exposure in medicine to help us, to drive us towards solving some of the social problems that we have in our communities. Now, can we use medicine and artificial intelligence to solve some of the challenges that we have in our communities? At the end of this discussion, I hope we shall have answers to that question. We are coming from a Valentine week, and guess what? I was surprised with gifts. I don't know. I've not seen many doctors post about gifts that they received. Probably none of them received, because if you receive gifts, at least you have to share with the public. So I received gifts this Valentine, and thank you, sweetheart, for sending me gifts. Now I want to show people the gift you sent me.
Game Valentine. Wow, thank you. Hi, thank you very much. Thank you. Hi, thank you. Oh, James. Ati nno mbadde kuwodde nga yankubira ngamba ssebo jangu kono ku gate tutudde ebintu mugamba biki ayina ngamba ssebo esimula basa z'abantu jangu obeerabire okakasa
nze bampamu
kyaka toli mu mukwano
ndimu naye maama kiwe kati guli siriyasi kati oluvudde ku woodi
maani ziruse emisinde gali musanze awo kubeti nazenze akuba esimu awo ndikwata mugamba sebo nze gwonoonya ga ya page
Did you really expect this?
I did.
So it was a surprise.
A surprise for sure.
I wish, but that's good.
I think it's
for sure. That day it was educated when we have Valentine's Day. I didn't know around here. You can do it for lunch. That's nice. At what did you give her? I'm planning.
Actually, no need to more.
Please, give us something. She has done good.
Of course, I need to get something better than this. Something
Netomanya nanga lili bolo kaninde kanyongera okusaba. That's nice.
Thank you, man.
That's nice of her. That's nice.
Thank you, man. It's a good feeling.
Yeah,
sure, it's
good,
really nice. And
yeah.
I want everyone to ever go through this experience. Yeah. Tell him.
You can start.
Ani anjie Valentine. Wow, thank you.
By the way, I still have my flowers, and I hope they don't dry up. I'm going to keep them until they turn into ash. Anyway, so we shall start away with our artificial intelligence, and we shall define it. What is artificial intelligence? Now, artificial intelligence refers to the simulation of human intelligence in machines so that they are programmed to think and act like humans. So basically here, we're having this technology that uses machines, okay, uses machine learning. There are quite a number of models to it, but basically we're trying to make machines learn and act like humans. So they feed data into the machines, and then they make the machines make decisions that humans would make in those very circumstances. So there are a lot of benefits to artificial intelligence as well as challenges. I hope we shall be able to learn some of them from this discussion. Now, as of today, some of you are having these apps on your telephones. You can actually chat and interact with a machine more like you would do with a fellow human. And what's interesting is that at some point, these machines even give us better conversations because they know and they are programmed to think like a super good human. So today, you can go to an app and tell it to write for you a letter, and in just 5 seconds, you have the letter. It can write for you an essay, it can write for you anything. You can ask it any questions and can give you information. So there's so many ways in which artificial intelligence is being used. Today, realize that people have come up with self-driving cars in some of those developed countries. So a car will self-drive itself. It will come, pick you from work, take you back home when maybe you're just on your computer doing something. So a lot of such innovations are coming up. And I feel like we as young Africans, we as young Ugandans, we have to brace ourselves for this. Now, artificial intelligence is not a new thing, okay? Much as it's quite kind of new to us in Africa, it's not a new thing. People started to think about artificial intelligence right in 1950, okay? And in 1956, that's when the term was first mentioned of artificial intelligence. Since that time, a lot of things have been happening, so many changes have been happening. But basically, what they do is that they look at the problems that people are facing at a particular time. Not necessarily problems, even opportunities, okay? Then they find out means of making this better. They try to solve the problems to come up with better opportunities. They keep building on that and that and that. And that's how they're able to rule the world today with a lot of such artificial intelligence. Now, as a doctors, be sure in the next few months, if maybe years, we shall be having artificial intelligence consultants. It's very possible for the people designing these apps to come up with an app whereby it can take a patient's history. It can examine, you know that today watches can be connected to your phone and it can take your blood pressures, it can take your BP, it can take your pulses and temperature. So it's very possible that these guys can come up with machines that can take very good care of patients, make excellent diagnoses, and take good care of patients. And artificial intelligence is not only just in medicine, it is in all other aspects of life. So people are using it in agriculture to improve products, people are using it in marketing to market their products, people are using it in films to market their, films, in law, in any discipline of life. And I feel like as Africans, we need to brace ourselves for this technology so that we are not left behind. So as of today, people are using machines to operate. Okay, a surgeon can operate on you when they're not there with you. As of today, it's possible for somebody to be in America and they conduct an operation in Uganda, as you're seeing here. So we're having this surgeon, he's using this machine, but the effects are being implemented with this machine. So that's where technology is going. And for now, we should be asking ourselves, does our education put us at stake to be able to come up with such ideas, or we shall forever be consumers of such technology? So it's high time as young people we brace ourselves for this, we rise up to the challenge and start coming up with this so that we're not just not consumers, but rather we are producers of such innovations. Now, artificial intelligence has began being incorporated in medicine, like I told you earlier on, and it speeds up patients' care process. Realize that these days, most of the times we need to have physical interactions with our patients, we have to examine them, we have to take history, and almost each time you're meeting a patient, you have to go through some of the things. Sometimes you have to go through a lot of diagnostic processes, So as of now, it's very possible that you can use these machines and they make your work quite easy. You can keep a lot of patient's information, you can speed up your diagnosis, and you'll be very accurate and effective. So as young people, we need to be prepared for this. And I feel like probably this is the future of medicine, and not just medicine, but every other aspect of life. When it comes to diagnosis, like I've told you, there is enhanced diagnosis. This artificial intelligence can help us analyze a lot of medical information in a very short time. These machines are quite efficient and they're quite accurate. And I feel like we have to, start using up such innovations and also come up with even better innovations than this. So it's the only way we can make our communities better and transform them socially. When it comes to radiology, yeah, of course, you realize that our eyes are imperfect. Sometimes, as you're reading that X-ray, or that city, there can be some things that you might miss. However, artificial intelligence is going to help us navigate all these challenges. When it comes to drug discovery, realize that these days a lot of drugs are coming up. So many people are trying out phases, especially for new. There are some diseases these days like cancers. So we want to sort of have personalized treatment for each patient. And the thing to use, the thing to take us there is artificial intelligence. So we have to be ready to rise to a challenge. Can we come up with these technologies by ourselves and start using them for our patients and also for our own lives so that we improve and be better people? So with artificial intelligence, it's very possible that physicians can easily take care of their patients, especially in their primary health care giving. It also enhances the patient care, makes it better, more efficient, and more accurate. And also, if we integrate it with our systems, we can have electronic health records. These are now very good for the policymakers. They can easily see that here maybe you need to make such a decision so that you impact on our people's lives like such. So it's just about time that we rise to the challenge, use artificial intelligence in everything that we do, come up with even better innovations that can socially transform our communities. Now, most of you are aware of the New England Journal of Medicine. Okay, basically this is where we get most of the information that we use in medicine. And as of today, they're doing ground rounds. Okay, they're making ground rounds on how to integrate artificial intelligence in their medical practice. And I feel like we need to also come up with a challenge. So many studies currently that are being done to evaluate if maybe artificial intelligence can be used to make better diagnoses, to treat patients better, and they're showing very, very good results. For instance, I'll tell you one study where they're trying to predict sepsis before it even happens. You all realize that sepsis is one of the biggest killers these days, and if only we could predict sepsis before it happens, be sure we would help a lot of our patients be better. So, as doctors, isn't it about time that we probably embrace this and use it to transform ourselves and our communities, as Zako told us? This one, you may not be able to understand this, but there's a disease I was reading about recently. It's called Wilson's disease. Now, this disease, it's basically patients who have it have too much copper in their bodies because they cannot excrete the copper. However, what is interesting is that, for instance, a British physician, actually it wasn't a physician, but was a computer scientist, thought about this issue in 1912. Okay, he was trying to link that maybe this disease is caused by too much copper. And by 1970, of course, so many processes happened. By 1970, they were able to do a liver transplant for a patient who has this problem. And here I want to ask us, in Uganda, for instance, today, are we even able to do a liver transplant? Definitely not. Okay, we've just done one kidney transplant. And maybe it's about time that we use artificial intelligence to help us get there. At least it should take us where our comrades on the Western world were in 1970. Better we embrace artificial intelligence so that we improve our care and also improve our communities. Now, I want to interest you with some of these interesting statistics. That today, our GDP is 172 billion US dollars as Uganda, but realize that in some parts of the world, there are companies, individual companies, where their annual revenue is even equal or more than our GDP. That should be embarrassing to the people of this generation, and I want us to open our eyes and see, is there any way maybe you can use some of these new technologies to better ourselves, and if possible, come up with even better technologies. We are the young people to do that, and the time is now to come up with some of these innovations. So, as medical doctors, as our colleagues in computer science, realize that yes, there are quite a lot of challenges that we're going through, and it's just about time that, hey, we open our eyes, we use our brains to think. We are the natural atoms of the poor, and today we are poor ourselves. So, can we use this technology to make ourselves better? Can we even come up with better technology, okay, and maybe build some of those groundbreaking innovations that the people we admire today have built? The time is now to embrace technology, to embrace artificial intelligence, and solve the problems that are hitting us hard. If we don't do that, probably we might continue, seeing our sisters going to the Western world to take care of their elderly patients. Yet you're also having elderly people here, okay? Much as not so many people in Uganda grew up to fulfill, to their full capacity, but at least even those few that make it, they should be taken care of. However, also their grandchildren are going to take care of elderly patients or elsewhere, probably because you're not opening our eyes to use that natural human intelligence, to use that artificial intelligence to solve some of the problems that you're facing today. As I conclude, realize that when you look at the life expectancy, Uganda, we are at 63.7. That's the average time that Ugandan is expected to survive. However, there are places where the life expectancy is 85. There are even others where it's even more than that. And as young people, maybe we need to drive ourselves from the 64 years where we are today to 85 years. Can use artificial intelligence to change our life expectancy from 64 to 85. The time is now. Or can we even be better than this? And there are people who are having such life expectancies. You don't have to feel bad about this. However, you can look at some of the interventions that you're using as young people to even maybe shift your life expectancies to 90s and above. So let us use our brains very well, come up with groundbreaking innovations that can make our life expectancy better. As doctors, you have to take the lead, and the public should be able to support you to reach there. As I conclude, I want us to be innovative, okay? To be innovative, you need to be in a right state, okay? You have to be well, think through the problems, look at your immediate environment, identify some of the things that you can work on, and start. However small it can be, you can start and you can make it, okay? Or come up with any innovations yourself, and together we can make it. As I conclude, I want to leave this question with you. Can we use medicine as doctors and artificial intelligence to transform our communities? You who just watched this video until this point, can you use artificial intelligence to transform your community? Can you use, the things around you to be a better person, to create a better community? And where possible, can you come up with better innovations? Thank you very much for watching until this time. I just want to wish you a good time, but I want you to use your brains very well. Bye-bye.